Then the Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh's heart is unyielding. He refuses to let the people go. Go to Pharaoh in the morning as he goes out to the water. Okay. Why is he going out to the water in the morning? It isn't just to bathe. No. It's to get ritually clean so he can go into a temple. This is part of a purification thing. Wait on the banks of the Nile to meet him, and taking your hand, the staff that was changed into a snake. Then say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has sent me to say to you, let my people go, so that they may worship me in the desert. But until now you have not listened. So, no, there's no so. Sometimes I haven't. This is what the Lord says. By this you will know that I am the Lord. With the staff that is in my hand, I will strike the water of the Nile, and it will be changed into blood. Staff that is in his... translations can make sentences weird. Anyway, the fish in the Nile will die, and the river will stink. The Egyptians will not be able to drink its water. So we actually have archaeological evidence of the Nile turning red multiple times. Yeah, there's writings about this happening. Now, here's something. What is special about it? The Lord said to Moses, tell Aaron, take your staff and stretch out your hand over the waters of Egypt. Over the streams and canals, over the ponds and the reservoirs. They will turn to blood. Yes, this is common writing motif, just like repeating the same stuff over. And if it was really some redactor trying to put it together, he's not just doing cram two stories in the exact same page and no one's throwing notice for thousands of years. Documentary hypothesis is bunk. Anyway, and they will turn into blood. Blood will be everywhere in Egypt, even in the wooden buckets and stone jars. So this is beyond the Nile just turning red. This is the Nile and all the water in Egypt turning to blood. Yeah. So it's a larger scale. And you know what else it shows? Well, the Egyptians had this idea that their gods only had power in Egypt, and a Hebrew god would only have power in the land of the Hebrews. Well, clearly this is challenging that idea. It's also to make Pharaoh unclean because he would have touched blood. Something he probably would not be happy about. Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded. He raised his staff in the presence of Pharaoh and his officials and struck the water of the Nile, and all the water was changed into blood. The fish in the Nile died, and the river smelled so bad the Egyptians could not drink its water. Okay, that does seem weird. It smelled so bad, well, they got near it and probably just started vomiting and it's like, oh no, that smells like there's something wrong with that. I ain't drinking it. Blood was everywhere in Egypt, but the Egyptian magicians did the same things by their secret arts. And Pharaoh's heart became hard. He would not listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had said. So how did they do it? Well, they probably found some water or something. Either by not real magic or actual magic, they somehow did this. but it's not the same scale in the same way Moses and Aaron did. But as far as Pharaoh's concerned, they did the exact same thing, so therefore he shouldn't be too worried about it. And you should see that there's a little bit of this where, like, somehow by these powers, the magicians can do the exact same thing, but that's going to fall out very quickly. Just as the Lord had said, instead he turned and went into his palace, and did not take even this to heart, and all the Egyptians dug along the Nile to get drinking water because they could not drink the water of the river. So what this is the water table. They're trying to dig down to the water table. Okay, the first plague, the plague of blood. So, first thing, this would not affect the whole Nile. And well, yeah, of course, it affected that part of the Nile, affected that part of the Nile. Well, yeah, but it wouldn't affect all the way down here in Uganda, like the White Nile, this thing. It's not like the water emptied here out of Lake Victoria and then became blood, and the Ugandans were thinking, what in the world's going on here? Or at Khartoum, where the blue and white Nile meet, this wasn't all bloody. Clearly this was a localized event to Egypt. So that's why other people went written about it. And if the Egyptians ever did, it's probably lost. Because this most likely take place somewhere around here, this is Avaris. Oh wait, it's Pyramses. Not Avaris. Avaris is the other type. Yeah, Pyramses. As you see, there's a little stream coming out. The Nile changed its course. It actually just fans out here. So somewhere in the Nile Delta where it's very wet and muddy and things corrode easier, they're made out of stone. And a few miles north or south, here's Avaris. And there's a tomb. Huh. You see this little Nile stream thing. Obviously, it's more... Actually, probably still be pretty controlled in ancient Egyptian times. But, as you obviously can tell, the Nile Delta fans out. It's very famous for this fan-out shape. So if you want more details on not only the first plague or stuff, there's InspiringPhilosophy, who has done evidence for the Exodus Rediscovered, where he goes over not only historical evidence, scholarly evidence for the Exodus, he also interviews people and answers objections. Then there's Ancient Egypt in the Bible, who is a channel by Dr. FALK. He does a lot of things about ancient Egypt in the Bible, of course, and of course part of that is the Exodus. He does live streams every Friday night, where he answers all sorts of questions about the Bible or Exodus or stuff. So if you want to know more. So if you want to know, this isn't just some rando. Let's me submit. I downloaded his credentials. Oh, it's opening. maybe. Come on. Some more stuff about the plague. Blood, I guess. There is the turning water into wine, which represents Jesus' blood in the New Testament. Let's say the two are related. There it goes. So, Dr. David A. FALK, PH.D. Again, there's his contact information. So his research interests, Egyptology, history, art, ethnography, language, ecology, archaeology, research, education research, research associate at the Vancouver School of Technology, currently studying Egyptian and cultural and its curation. I am not good at speaking today. With the formation of early Israelite degree programs, PhD in Egyptology from the University of Liverpool. Thesis, ritual, processional furniture. Oh yeah, he also read in a book about the Ark of the Covenant in its ancient Near East context. He also has an MA in Near and Middle Eastern civilizations from the University of Toronto, an MA in Near Eastern and Biblical Archaeology and Languages from Trinity International University, an MDiv from Trinity Evangelical Divinity School, and a BA in Philosophy from the University of British Columbia. So his PhD comes from the University of Liverpool, which is not the one in Britain. I think that's the one. I think that's the one in Canada because he is Canadian. Yeah. Of course, this is just something of the University of Liverpool, England. Oh, well. He has some reward of FDLR grant by the Department of Classical Near East and Religious Studies of the University of British Columbia. Second place award for best research poster in the Facility of Humanities Studies, Social Science of Resource Day, University of Liverpool. Yeah, you can read a lot of these journal articles. My personification is myrrh. Okay. Here. Predatory spirituality. Yes, the Ark of the Covenant in its Egyptian context, an illustrated journey. Also wrote chapters, the prophecy of Nefertiti, recounting natural trauma as an apocalyptic synopsis. Yes. Well, computer analysis on the chronology testing and its implications for the date of the Exodus. So yeah, he has as you can see, brick by brick, what did the Israelites build in Egypt? Books, yes, book reviews. Atheism and monotheism. Web-based publications. That's a bunch of... Okay, this climate change is... I think is something having to do with a debate on climate change in ancient times? Not modern day climate change, so yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, he has a lot. This isn't the only person. Inspiring Philosophy also lists a whole bunch of scholars and such. So if you want to know more about the Exodus, the plagues and stuff, there's 2 channels I will recommend. Do you have anything you would like to recommend about the Exodus or things about the plague of blood? You may do so in the comments. I'm just here to provide you some information. Again, that's ancient Egypt and the Bible. And this channel is Inspiring Philosophy. Next time is the frog plague.